Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to the Brownwood Lions Coach Show here on KOXE. I am Derek Stuckley, along with Brownwood Lions head football coach and athletic director Sammy Burnett. And we are now 3 days into football practice. I know you mentioned the other day you kind of worry about Wednesday kids being sore and tired and things of that. So how are they holding up so far?
I think I was talking to myself. After today, I realized I'm 55 and I don't bounce back like I used to. But boy, I still have fun doing it, and I still got a passion for it. But no, the first thing we addressed this morning when we went out with the kids, number one, our numbers are phenomenal. Every time I look across there, we have, our varsities on the left, our JVs in the middle, and our freshmen are on the right, and we're lined up ready to do our calisthenics. And I see the numbers, and I'm extremely pleased. Still have kids out coming out and doing what we're asking them to do. But I told them, I said, I know your bodies are sore. I know your bodies are tired, but what a great opportunity to go out there and work on your mental toughness, knowing that you can do it and just persevere through some of the difficulties, knowing that it's going to get better. And once again, man, our kids responded. I don't know that I have the words to say how proud of them I am and the fact that they're just different. You don't have to beg them to do things. They're out there trying to become really good. They want to be special. They want to be successful. And they want to win, and I don't know what it takes all the time to win. It's extremely difficult to win, but I tell you what, the pot that they're stirring has got a lot of good ingredients in it to give them the opportunity to do so. We're supposed to do our work in a diligent way and let the Lord take care of the rest, have faith and confidence in the abilities that He's given us, and maximize those abilities to the fullest and make sure that the light that shines on you is never as bright as the light that you're shining on someone else. And our kids are living it, man. And I couldn't be in a happier place as a coach, as a leader, to see, with our coaching staff. When I say I mean we, our coaching staff, to see what our kids are doing. I truly believe it's uncommon. It's not happening everywhere in the state of Texas, but it's happening at home. And I think that's a testament to our coaches and their ability to lead, to develop relationships with the kids, and for the kids to have the desire to be different, to be special, and have the ability to follow the leadership of their coaches and even their peers. And it's just a fun time for me and our coaching staff, and I really feel it's going to be a fun time for our kids. When that happens, I don't know. We got a long season. We got 3 seasons within the season, the preseason, which is going to be brutal. In the district, it's going to be really tough, and all you're trying to do in those 2 seasons is get a berth to the playoffs. And then when you get the berth to the playoffs, hopefully that you're hitting it on full force and all cylinders are running, and you have the opportunity to go farther than you ever thought you could. And everybody right now is saying, why not us? And that's what I tell our kids, why not us? We all have the opportunity. We have the gifts. We're blessed as young athletes. It's what you do with that on a daily basis. The grind isn't as much of a grind when you're successful, but you know that it takes the grind to be successful, so embrace the grind and go out there, and it makes those victories a lot more sweeter.
Well, it sounds like everything's off to a great start so far. I guess what's kind of stood out so far in practice, offensively, defensively?
I think the knowledge of our defense, I really think we're going to be really fast. When you look at losing Quentin McCarty and Davis Lee at times and Cole Miller up front, they were pretty dominant players, so I've always had a concern there. But watching Robert Trowbridge and Weston Wolf and Aiden Driscoll and Ben Wilson, some of the other guys get in there and mix it up a little bit. Wesley Escarda get in there and just sort of mix it up. I feel more comfortable with them. They know what they're doing. A big comfort I have is that right now we're putting packages in that we haven't done yet. This is, I think, our 3rd year in this defense, and that defense is steady evolving. We have the base. We know what we've done in the past, and now we're putting in things and other elements to that defense that's going to make it extremely difficult for an offensive coordinator to determine what we're doing. So I'm very excited about that, and the fact that the growth of our defense over the last 3 years is continuing to evolve. We're adding more limbs, I guess you could say, to it. We're adding more, what do they call, tools in the toolbox for the defense, and our kids are buying into it. They're smart. They're smart kids, and they're out there and they're starting to execute. And we're just at a different level right now than we've ever been at the first week. So I'm really excited about that. And I can go back to the offensive side. We're real skilled in the receiver area. We have some experience in the receiver area, and those kids know what's going on. So that's a blessing as well. Up front, we've got to do some things today. Just the more I see them, they're always the slowest group to develop. There's always a state of panic with people. Oh, we can't run the ball. Well, it's scrimmage one. It's a maroon white scrimmage, or it's a scrimmage against Alvarado or Argyle Liberty Christian, and you're just trying to get people in the right spot. It takes that offensive line a good bit of time to gel, and we're no different. But what I see and what I think that we're going to develop into is once they do gel, they're going to be dominant, and I believe that. And here's the thing with that group. I'm talking to Coach Chenard, who coaches our offensive line all the time, extremely knowledgeable coach, and we're blessed to have him in that area. Our kids have no ego. They don't care. They just want to work and they want to be good. And it's a reflection of the whole team. But in the years past, we've had some that maybe weren't so bought into that position. They wanted to do something different or whatever. Not a knock on them. It just is what it is. But right now we have a group of guys that just want to work and they just want to get better. And they know that they're the most important part of the team. And they're not going to let the team down. And that's their mentality. So, like I said, it doesn't matter where I go. I go watch the receivers. I go watch the running backs. I go watch the quarterbacks. I go watch the linemen. And I'm seeing greatness in the groups. And then you put them together in a pass hole setting or a run hole setting or a team setting. And they're just excelling and they're achieving and they're growing more. Here we are 3 days into it. We've already done screen periods and 2-minute offenses and team offenses, run pass offense, and vice versa on defense as well. And we're just farther along than we've been. And a lot of that is a testament to the kids, their retention, and their desire to be different. They want to win number 8. If that's what the good Lord's plan is, it'll reveal itself, but I don't feel it's going to reveal itself if we're not willing to do the work, and the kids are doing that.
We've sat here the last 2 years, about this time of year, talking about offensive line and if, and it always seems to work out, and it looks like maybe they're on the same path again this year.
Yeah, just like one of the young men I spoke about before, Tristan Stevens is a young man that's played on the JVs through his junior year, and he was just a later bloomer. I mean, some frustrations with him, but what he came to me after practice today and said, I'd see if I can't keep from getting emotional here, but he said, Coach, thanks for not giving up on me. We never gave up on him. We just knew it was going to take him longer to develop. But as a coach, and what you're supposed to do to mold young men and to create young men that can go out on their own after sports and be successful, all of a sudden I see happening with this young man. He's that light switch turned on, and some of us it's sooner than later, some of us is later than sooner. And to see him with the ability we know he had, but he just lacked the little elements that he needed to put it all together, all of a sudden he's putting it together. And for him to come to a coach and say, thank you for not giving up on me, we never gave up on him. That's not what we do. But to all of a sudden to see what we saw in him come to fruition, and for him to see that I can really do this, he's going to be a big difference in our team. And I firmly believe that because he's turned into just a grinder. And it's well-deserved. It's well-deserved. And for other people to see that is important, because all of a sudden you have a young man that didn't have as much confidence in himself, whether it was his level of play at the time or the level he was playing at the time. But now to see that he feels like, I know I can do it and be a vital part of the team, man, that's culture. That's family, and that's what we need. And for other guys to see that is huge. So, like I said, we couldn't be in a better spot when you're cooking the stew. We just got to let that stew maturate together, set for a while, let it rest, and then let it come out and be that aroma and that taste to be great. And like I said, I don't know what the Lord has in store for us for the season. I can't predict wins and losses, but I'll tell you this: we're going to do the work, and the kids are going to do the work, and they're going to do everything in their power to be successful. And anything less than success to them is going to be a failure, and they'll fix it. So I'm probably one of the most exciting times I've been in as a coach in a long time, knowing that our kids are just sort of evolving and getting to where we want them to get, and they understand how to do it, and that's through work.
You mentioned defensive line a little earlier. No, during 7-on-7, we saw a lot of guys in the secondary. Coach Jones was in here a couple of weeks ago and talked about up to 9 guys playing linebackers. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you got a lot of options in the back end.
Man, here's the deal. My focus with the coaches today is, make sure it's easy. I'll give you an example. Weston Wolf is a great football player for us, a great kid. He's got a great motor. He's a guy that's got the ability to play both sides of the ball all the time. Is that best for the team? I don't know. if Weston Wolf is playing defensive end and he's a go-daddy for us on the defensive side, we have other guys that we can get to be at the same level as Weston and put them on the offensive side. And that's depth, which we haven't had in the past. Friendly competition is very important because now we have depth to where people are pushing each other to be the guy. So it's sharpening, iron sharpens iron. We have instead of me saying, hey, if you don't do this, I'm going to take you out. I don't have to say it. They know if you don't do this, the guy behind you is going to step up and play that's role. And that comes from, I think it's important to be a Brownwood Lion again in the football program. I think it's important for kids to grow up being a Brownwood Lion and go through the program and go play at Gordon Woods Stadium on Friday night. You can tell by the numbers, and you can tell by the fact that our kids are sticking to it, and they're just growing as young men, and they want to be a vital part of the program. So for us, not just having them on the bus, if we have 5 sniffers, but 3 of those sniffers may play another position that's very vital on the team. So let's take the other 2 and make sure we can all be. If we got 5, let's make them 5 at the same level, so that we can just put people in and out in the same in that certain position, knowing you're not going to miss a beat. So that's some of the focuses we're having right now. Let's make sure if we have 45 guys on the team, let's use all 45 of them.
There you go. Well, the first week will wrap up, I believe, Saturday with the Maroon and White Scrimmage Media Day. Is that right?
Yep, 7:30 at Gordon Woods Stadium. We'll take our pictures with our kids. That'll be team pictures. That'll be individual pictures of each team. And then we'll also take family pictures with the coaches. If parents want to come out and take pictures along with that, they're more than welcome to do so. But they'll have an option to select some packages, photo packages that they can purchase as well. They don't have to purchase them that day. They can go online later on and purchase those pictures, but there'll be some good pictures of that. Then we'll get our kids loose. We'll scrimmage the varsity first, and we'll try to balance those teams the best we can. We will have a session where we try to go as best we can, good on good, which is the best defense we can put against the best offense. And then after that, we'll switch it up, put some people in other positions, and get more of maybe a emphasis on defense this session, and then the next time an emphasis on offense. And we'll do that until I feel we're ready to be done. And then we'll put together a JV freshman scrimmage and get this some work as well. I guess the parents, we'll open that up. I think Mr. Moore said he'd open the stadium up somewhere around 9 o'clock, somewhere in there, so parents can come, get in the visitor side, walk up and sit in that side and watch the scrimmage and see their kids in action for a little bit. For those freshmen coming up, those parents to get up there and get to see them for their first action on Friday night's a big deal. So I encourage everybody to come out and watch. We're going to be coaching them up like it's a practice for us, but gives us a chance to get out there and go bang heads a little bit and sort of see where we're at physically and mentally and get those parents a little glimpse of what we may see in the future.
All right. Well, let's see. Ticket sales are also going on, I believe.
Again, Monday through Thursday, 8 to 12, 1:30 to 4. Ms. Hasso's office, which is right now housed at Central Support Center on 27, I think it's 2707 South Side. You can get your tickets there with her, or you can go online to brownwoodisd.org. We're opening up the online sales. You can go on there and get them. If you're like me and you don't feel comfortable going online to buy tickets because I'm a computer goofball, I'm going to go to Ms. Hasso and get my tickets. So they are available Monday through Thursday, so go get your tickets. We got to pack the stadium, and we got to root those kids on.
Definitely. Well, let's change gears a little bit here. I know tennis's first matches are tomorrow. They go to Mineral Wells and play Keller Fossil Ridge at 9 and Mineral Wells at 1:30.
Yeah, Coach Hutchins, his debut as a head tennis coach, is going to do a phenomenal job. I got to speak with him some today. He's raring and ready to go. Got all of his paperwork done. His eligibility's done. He's ready to start rocking and rolling and get them a little team tennis going, this spring. So best of luck. Fossil Ridge got to have some players.
Oh, yeah.
They got multiple schools up there. They're big. And then Mineral Wells, I'm sure, is going to have a good group. So it's going to be great for them to get out there and get their feet wet and starting to learn themselves as well.
Yeah, anxious to see how they do. And then, of course, Lady Lions Volleyball have their one and only scrimmage.
Friday and that's at San Angelo, which will be Central, and then some other, I can't remember who they said, Brawl, or
a handful of teams, I think.
Handful of teams that they're going to do a little scrimmage with, so that's good for them. And then I think their first game's next Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken.
Early comes to town.
Yeah, so good numbers, man. I go in the gym, and like I said the last show, we have a number problem, which isn't a problem, it's a blessing. But to see that, I hack on them every time I walk in because that air conditioner's on, and I'm old and fat, and I sweat a lot, so I tell those coaches, I walk up to them, I say, this is sweat. This right here on my shirt is sweat because that air conditioner is going on there. So I had to give them a hard time. But those girls are working extremely hard. Had an opportunity to talk to some previous varsity players yesterday evening. and ask them how it was going and what they thought. And boy, they're liking. Although the comment was we're going to be better than we were. The girls are working hard and there's great chemistry, and I think that starts with leadership, with Coach Lovelady being consistent in what she's doing. It's her second year as the head coach, so there's got to be some great things happening for them as well.
Yeah, and then next week, I believe cross country has their first meet, the Brock 6-mile relay.
Yeah.
I would need a relay if I was in cross country.
Yeah, there'd be a whole bunch of people on my relay team, I promise you. Man, I tip my hat to those kiddos. Man, cross country is a tough gig. But we got some that do it really well, and we got some great coaches leading them with Coach Lipsy and Coach Parker on the boys' side, and then with assistant coaches Coach Westerman and Coach Mosqueda. They get after it. They're proud of what they're doing. They carry a lot of Brownwood pride and Lion and Lady Lion pride. And I same thing goes, man. I think we're just running on all cylinders in our program, and our expectation level is high. When you do the work and you grind, you expect to win. How many times as a kiddo I can explain to you how I did this when I was growing up, but how many times did I go in to take a test going, oh man, if I can just make a 70, I'll be happy because I'm not prepared. And the times that I did study for that test and was just chomping at the bit to get in that classroom to take the test because I knew I'd done the work and I knew I was going to be successful. That's where we're at. Our kids are doing the work. They're embracing the grind, and they're going to go out there and expect to be successful. So it's all I see is success at Brownwood High School with our Lady Lions and Lions program.
Yeah, work going on everywhere you look right now.
Absolutely.
So did we hit everything, Coach?
I think we did a pretty good job of it.
All right. What else do we need to do?
Let's thank those that make this show possible. Auto Glass Magic, Bruner Auto Group, Syntex Body and Paint, Syntex Equipment Sales, Citizens National Bank, Dan Hill Containers, Dr. Bond Young, Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, Everett Jones Investments, Hendrick Medical, Highway Enterprises, Humphrey Peets, Landmark Light, MC Bank, Painter Johnson Associates, Smith Sharp Agency, Sonic Drive-In, Stanley Chrysler, Texas Bank, Weldon Wilson Electric, Western Bank, and Willie's Teas.
All right. That will wrap up our latest edition of the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show. We will be back here Monday on the Brownwood Lions Coaches Show on KOXE, KOXE.com, and the KOXE app.
Have a great day, Brownwood.